Hello and welcome to Matador News. I'm Stephen Jones.
And I'm Nancy Mijares. 2 people are dead and 4 are being treated for injuries after a small airplane crashed into a building in Wichita, Kansas this morning. The plane was headed to Mena, Arkansas. Wichita Fire Chief Ron Blackwell says authorities are still trying to determine how many people were in the building at the time.
At this point, that a large number of people appeared to have gotten out of the building, but certainly saddened by the loss of life and anybody that might have been hurt.
The plane lost an engine on takeoff and crashed onto the 2-story building. 5 people are still unaccounted for. The twin engine is a Hawker Beechcraft King Air. Federal officials have confirmed that the incident is not related to terrorism.
A World Series victory leads to violent celebrations in San Francisco. 2 people were shot and 1 more was stabbed. Both gunshot victims suffered non-life-threatening wounds, and no information has been released about the stab victim. Fans set fire to a couch, climbed on top of buses and signs, and set firecrackers off. Several arrests were also reported. The celebrations, which were mostly peaceful, occurred after the Giants won the World Series in Kansas City last night. More than 9,000 fans gathered in an outdoor plaza across from San Francisco's City Hall to watch the game. Police did keep a cool distance from the excitement, but still had a heavy presence.
10 Iraqi Peshmerga troops have entered the Syrian border town of Kobani this morning. Last night, Islamic State fighters unsuccessfully tried to capture the border crossing point, the only gateway in and out of the strategic Kurdish town. A total of 150 troops will attempt to cross in order to help Kurdish fighters break the siege by Islamic State militants. The first 10 are with the People's Protection Unit and include doctors and fighters. The turn of the battle will depend on the effectiveness of their weapons and on continued U.S.-led airstrikes against extremists.
Riots spark in Jerusalem after the death of a Palestinian suspected of shooting a U.S.-born Jewish activist. Officials identified the shooter as Muataz Hijazi, who was released from prison 2 years ago. Police say Hijazi was shot and killed this morning when he opened fire on special forces, the day after he reportedly shot Yehuda Glick. Palestinians started throwing rocks at the troops. Police responded with tear gas and stun grenades. Glick, the activist who was shot, suffered injuries to his chest and neck, but is in stable condition. Following the attack on Glick, the Temple Mount and Al-Aqsa Mosque compound was closed to both worshippers and visitors.
Sweden has officially recognized the state of Palestine. Swedish Foreign Minister Margaret Wallström says there was no reason to delay the decision.
Not to recognize Palestine because of the occupation would be against the principle of international law about no fruits of aggression. Remember that more than 130 countries already recognized Palestine.
Israel says Palestinians can gain independence only through peace negotiations. Earlier this month, British lawmakers voted in favor of recognizing Palestine as a state, although the UK government has no obligation to adopt the decision as a policy.
The state of Maine is in the process of filing a court order requiring nurse Casey Hickox to comply with a 21-day quarantine. Hickox recently returned from West Africa, where she treated those suffering from the Ebola virus. She says she understands the state's purpose is to protect Maine, but does not agree with having to stay home for 3 weeks.
I have worked in public health for many years, and that has always been my purpose as well. But we have to make decisions on science, and I am completely healthy. You know, you could hug me, you could shake my hand.
Maine Health Commissioner Mary Mayhew says this is being done out of an abundance of caution. Other states like New York, New Jersey, and Illinois have already implemented the 21-day quarantine for health workers returning from West Africa.
Millennials say they would recall and replace all members of Congress in both parties today. A poll conducted by Harvard University Institute of Politics shows that millennials ages 18 to 29 hold President Obama and congressional Democrats and Republicans equally responsible for the dysfunction in Washington. The survey of more than 2,000 respondents show that 43% of these millennials consider themselves independent voters and do not affiliate themselves with either party. More than half of these respondents disapprove of President Obama's job performance, with 53%. Midterm elections are next Tuesday.
Tomorrow's Halloween and people are buying their last-minute costumes. Reporter Angela Hoffman is live from the newsroom with more on the subject.
Halloween is one of the most celebrated holidays of the year. Consumers are expected to spend up to $350 million alone on costumes. I went on campus to ask a couple of students if they will be dressing up for Halloween. I interviewed my first goblin, Sam, and my second ghoul, Ryan.
Waka Flocka.
Waka Flocka. So what exactly is a Waka Flocka outfit?
I have dreads, I have gold teeth, and I have some nice clothes. I'll put some fake tattoos on my face and my body, and I will be Waka Flocka.
You better make sure they're fake so they come off. Ryan, what do you plan on being for Halloween?
Plan to be a Red Power Ranger, the original one.
What's the original Red Power Ranger?
The Mighty Morphin one. You know, the dinosaurs and like stuff. I mean, I've been a fan since I was a kid, so I've been like, previously, like when I was a child, I would always dress as a Power Ranger. Then my mom got tired of it, so I switched to like other like superheroes and stuff. But since this year's the 20th anniversary of the show, it's my you know, like members like tribute.
Then I trekked over to the Spirit Halloween store to find out what the most popular costume is this year.
That would definitely be the Frozen costumes of Elsa for adults and kids.
Adults and kids?
Yeah, we're sold out completely.
Say that again?
We're sold out completely.
Okay, so then what's the second most popular outfit?
That would have to be Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse?
Yeah.
Really? After all these years, Minnie Mouse?
Yeah, it's been popular. We sold out almost immediately. Every time we put something out, it would be gone.
I'm Angela Hoffman with Matador News. Back to you in the studio.
Now let's toss it to Nicky Hathaway with the latest news in business.
Thank you, Nancy. Apple's CEO has publicly acknowledged that he is a proud gay. Tim Cook has been open about his sexual orientation, but not previously discussed it publicly. Cook says people have had to hide their identity in the workplace for too long. He says his colleagues did not treat him any differently at Apple when they knew about him being gay. The Commerce Department says the U.S. economy grew at a 3.5% rate between July and September. Experts believe this was caused by an increase in business investment, export sales, and a rise in military spending. Analysts expect the economy to continue improving this quarter due to the recent drop in gas prices. Some gas stations around Los Angeles are reportedly selling gas for under $3 a gallon. Growth in 2015 is expected to hit 3%, which would be the best annual performance since before the Great Recession. At last check, the Dow Jones is at 17,170 points. Now let's go to Jareena with health news.
The Federal Trade Commission is suing the baby food giant Gerber for false claims. Gerber has been advertising Good Start Gentle formula as the first to meet FTC standards in reducing the risk or preventing allergies in children. The FTC wants the company to remove the statement on all labels and advertisements. They also want Gerber to issue refunds on the formulas. Gerber, owned by Nestle, says it did not violate the law and it did meet all the requirements to prevent the atopic dermatitis allergy in infants. The case will most likely go to district court in New Jersey, where the Gerber headquarters is located. People living in fear of Ebola should realize chances are much higher to get the flu or other common bugs. Patients with symptoms similar to Ebola are making frequent visits to busy emergency rooms, taking up nurses' time and hospital resources. Doctors are urging people to get their flu shots. The flu is transmitted more easily than Ebola through indirect contact with infected people. The only way to get Ebola is through an exchange of bodily fluids from an infected patient showing symptoms. The Centers for Disease Control say flu vaccination rates are low and just 42% of adults got vaccinated in the 2012 to 2013 flu season. Now, let's go to Nicky for entertainment news.
Comedian Cat Williams and Suge Knight have been arrested and charged with robbery. Williams and Knight are accused of taking a celebrity photographer's camera. Knight has a prior conviction and could face up to 30 years in prison if convicted. The incident remains under investigation by Beverly Hills Police. Transformers director Michael Bay is not going to return for the 5th installment of the franchise. For the last few months, Bay has been working with Paramount on a new film. 13 Hours will revolve around the true story of the attack on the U.S. Special Mission Compound and a CIA annex in Benghazi, Libya. Movie critics hope Bay can deploy a more sensitive and subtle style for this film. Now let's go back to Jareena with the latest news in sports.
The San Francisco Giants win the World Series title against the Kansas City Royals in Game 7. This is their third title in the last 5 years. Madison Bumgarner took the team to their 3-2 win and earned his title as the series MVP. The Royals weren't going down without a fight, though. They kept the game close and tied the game 2-2 with Michael Morse's single off Royals pitcher Kelvin Herrera. But he was no match for Giants MVP pitcher Bumgarner, who threw the winning pitch to Salvador Perez on a foul pop-up to third baseman Pablo Sandoval. The sold-out Kauffman Stadium of mostly Royals fans watched as the Giants celebrated. The Royals haven't won a World Series title since 1985. New York Rangers player John Moore is suspended from playing in the next 5 games. This decision came from following Moore's illegal hit Monday night against Minnesota Wild player Eric Howla. 12 games ago, Moore received a 2-game ban after a similar hit during the Eastern Conference Final. The 5-game suspension will cause Moore to lose over $50,000 of his salary. And now we go to the Sundial with Matador News reporter Brenda Garcia. She's going to give us some information on a talent show that is being put on by Psychology's brightest minds.
I'm here with Dr. Andrew Ainsworth. He is the director of the Psychology's Got Talent event that's going on tonight here at CSUN. First of all, thank you for coming in. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about the event that's going on tonight?
Well, it's our 6th year doing this event, and it started 5 years ago because we have a lot of students who are very talented in other ways besides academics. And even we have talented faculty too that actually can sing and play and dance and things. So we wanted to showcase that and actually bring everybody together and have a little bit of fun.
Awesome. Who is performing and what kind of performances can we be expecting?
So there'll be performances by, like I said, technically the students and faculty, as well as one faculty's child, my own. but oftentimes we'll have a mix of all kinds of people from our department, even staff have performed. And we're going to see, close-up magic and some singing and dancing and even some spoken word poetry. And we have one talented flutist who's going to be playing. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. And is there a fee to attend? And if there is, what are all the proceeds going towards?
So we're asking for a $5 donation. And that $5 donation plus proceeds from a silent auction that will be going on at the same time will all go to support the Creative Endeavor Scholarship, which supports students' activities, their research activities, their creative activities. Oftentimes, the one thing that keeps them from getting that done is just being able to buy supplies and be able to do things with that cost money. And we're trying to help them support those projects that can go forward and get it done.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Don't forget your umbrellas, trick-or-treaters. Scattered showers are expected throughout most of the Los Angeles County on Halloween night, and more rain is expected on Saturday morning, but the sunshine will be back. And get ready for that extra hour of sleep you've been craving. Sunday is daylight savings time. Sounds like a bargain to me.
Thank you for watching Matador News. He's Stephen Jones.
And she's Nancy Mijares.
Have a good day.